This is the Sounds on Vinyl show. My name, as always, is Phil Boyer, and from across the pond is my brother from another mother, Professor Rockstar, Viking extraordinaire, Mr. Mike Svensson. Mike, how the hell is it going over there in the land of Scandinavia?
Oh, right now, my friend, it's beautiful. We got spring. It's 20 degrees Celsius today, so it's pretty warm.
That's nice. That's
Yes,
nice, yeah.
it is. The sky is blue and the sun is shining and no cold. I hate the cold.
Well, you wouldn't want to be here. It's
No.
cold here, and it actually snowed yesterday.
Oh,
We actually
man.
had some flurries. Nothing. Well, actually, we did have some stickage overnight. Yeah, it's winter's just hanging. It's just hanging around, man. It doesn't want to let go. It doesn't want to let go.
You should move somewhere else.
I'm working on it. I am working on it.
And speaking of working on it, what's up with this show? What are we doing?
I don't know.
What's going
I mean,
on?
we got some pick of the week as always.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we got that going on later on in the show, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about a little album by a Australian band.
Oh, I know them.
I think everybody's probably heard of them before, but we'll be talking about them. But I think we're kicking shit off with with your finds, right? Your weekly finds. What you found this week at the record store and
and
all your journeys. So what do you got? What do you got to show us?
I've got, because I forgot I put them up on a shelf, so I have to move from my spot here, which is like, it's fucked up, but it's live. So what are you going to do? It's
we
over
record
here.
live. We definitely record live.
I hope I don't show stuff that I mean, if I'm naked from like the mid down, what the fuck do we do then?
Well, we'll have to put the little black bars up or something.
Black bars.
Or not. We'll just label this NC-17 and call it a day.
This is what I got for you. Because I'm always buying stuff. So I went to, this is crazy. I actually went to a flea market. And you're not going to believe this. I found some really good stuff. So I found a Deep Purple.
There you go.
Yeah, and this is what you call the dollar bin, which it's pretty crazy. And it was an older guy, and he didn't know what the hell was going on here. so this is Deep Purple. Who do we think we are? With massive, awesome songs like "Woman from Tokyo," "Smooth the Dancer," "Rat Bat Blue," and so forth. So in the dollar bin, could you believe it?
That looks pretty damn good for being in a dollar bin.
It is actually. And of course, more in the dollar bin, Alice Cooper.
Oh, there we go.
Constrictor. Which is also crazy. You never find stuff like this in the dollar bin, which is, I don't know. And it's a good copy too. Yeah. So and I found a Whitesnake too.
Trouble,
yeah.
Great record.
It is one of those
the Fame
label, the Fame label that we talked about the last show with Maiden. Is low budget, but who cares? Also in the dollar bin. So 3 finds in the dollar bin.
That's great. That's
crazy.
Awesome.
It is. So there we go.
There you go. Alice Cooper, crazy. Deep Purple, and Whitesnake.
Yeah. And I was always out hunting for new records and checking all the flea markets and thrift stores and so forth. So, and it's nowadays you can go at a flea market outside when the spring and summer is coming around here in Sweden. We got shitloads of flea markets all over the place. Just around my house, it's going for a walk. It's like a 10-minute walk to a big flea market out in a field. So it's crazy. It's you can do some awesome finds. So there we go.
Sweet.
That's my latest finds.
Sweet. And if you're listening and watching, leave us a comment on if you guys found anything good, man. We'd love to see what you guys get, man. This isn't all one-sided. You guys can participate. This is a participatory show, right? Grab yourself a whiskey or a beer and show us your records.
Yeah.
We showed you ours, so you got to show us yours now. I mean, that's how that works.
That's how it works. So we're talking about this little old record here. Let There Be Rock by AC/DC.
Damn right. There you go.
Ever heard of this band before?
Yeah, I've run across them a time or two, Yeah.
It's pretty decent. If you know what I mean.
They're okay.
They're okay.
They're okay for a tiny little band that barely anybody's heard of. They're pretty good.
So this is their fourth studio album, and it's the last album to feature Mark Evans, who played bass, and Cliff Williams took over from the album that came after this one, which I can't remember. So I'm just saying the guy that took after this one. But Cliff Williams is still with the band today. He tried to quit, but then all of a sudden they decided to, after Malcolm Young died, Angus Young's brother, they decided that they were, I don't know how many cousins and brothers and nephews or whatever that Young family had, but they found a guy who plays guitar, and I swear to God, he looks like them. So every once in a while, you think, "What the? Didn't that guy just pass? Oh shit! It's the other one. It's some nephew, brother, or cousin. They all look alike." Mm-hmm. And he's standing there in the back with his guitar. So they brought in Cliff Williams again and said, "Hey, we're doing another album." So he's still with them. He tried to quit, but it didn't go so well.
Yeah.
so he's still, you can't quit. But
wait a minute, this isn't the Eagles. I thought I could check out anytime I wanted.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh man.
There we go.
Yeah. So this is the international edition right here. There is a different version that was released in Australia on the Albert production label, which I don't have because it costs shitload of money. I have a couple of them. Yeah. So it's a different cover. I really like this cover better because the other one is only a guitar, a neck of a guitar, and it says AC/DC in white and not the logo, and Let There Be Rock. So I like this one. Yeah. And of course the original album was released in March of 1977, and this was released in July, the international edition in 1975 and 77. Sorry. So there we go. I dig this cover way more.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. You can see all the guys, Angus, of course, and Bon and Phil Rudd and so forth, and Malcolm over there. Yep. And of course at back you got Angus doing the crazy shit. I actually read an article when I was a kid. I didn't believe it, that he runs around so much on stage they had to give him oxygen. And I went to a show, and lo and behold, I was sitting in this arena so that I could see the backstage area, and sure enough, there he goes, giving oxygen because he's running around like a crazy man. So
that's insane.
It is insane.
Yeah.
So do you remember?
Still runs around like a maniac.
Yeah.
Even to this day,
and
the guy's nuts, man.
Yeah, he's got to be like in his 70s, don't you think?
Yeah, they got to be. Yeah, most of those guys got to be pushing 70s, I would think by now.
Old old people.
I can't even imagine. I'm not, I'm like 20 years younger than some of these guys like Rob Halford and all that. And I can't even imagine at my age going on stage and doing what these motherfuckers do. It's insane.
I know,
it's
right?
like, you guys, hats off to you. Not only do you guys have talent, but you guys can also run around on stage like Bruce Dickinson. I mean, Jesus, guys climbing up speaker things and running around like a maniac. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah. And talking about Bruce, he just had throat cancer, for crying out loud. And he still runs around and he sings. I mean, it's nuts. Releasing
and he doesn't
albums.
lose his breath. I mean, I'd be like, okay, all right. Give me a minute. I'll get to the lyrics in a second. You guys just keep playing. I'll get there. It's like,
oh man.
It's like, man, I guess maybe I should stop sitting around drinking whiskey and listening to records and maybe get out there and go for a walk or some shit. Maybe then I could on stage. But nobody wants to see me run around stage anyway, let alone play an instrument or sing. So,
oh man! But speaking of AC/DC, when did you first discover the band?
When did I first discover the band? I think it had to have been. Oh shit! It was probably right around the Back in Black era. I think I was about 10 years old when Back in Black came out, and I think it was that, and then. For Those About to Rock, and I'm like, okay, we got to get more of this stuff, and then you start going backwards, and start checking out. Of course, amongst those, you hear the hits, the Highway to Hell, the Problem Child, all that stuff, right? You start hearing that, and all those early hits with Bon Scott. But I can't remember like the exact, it had to have been Back in Black that I first discovered this band. This particular record, I couldn't even tell you when I first discovered it.
No.
But it had to be in between like 80 and 85, 86, something like that.
Yeah. I remember my first encounter with the band was actually For Those About to Rock. I think I was like 11 or 12 at the time. And I was like, when I listened to that album, I heard, of course, I heard Highway to Hell, the song, and I thought, man, this sounds so much heavier to listen to For Those About to Rock. And I thought, well, and the singer, he's changed. So, and later on, I found out it's a different singer, of course. So, but you're a young kid, you didn't know. So, but of course, I didn't grow up with Bon Scott. I grew up with Brian Johnson, and so I'm like you. I backtracked, of course, and as I was getting older, and I found out about albums like this and Highway to Hell and High Voltage and so forth. I mean, damn, that was some good stuff. And you can hear the similarities in their sound, but I always thought when I started listening to Bon Scott, I didn't think that. At first, I had a hard time getting the guy. I didn't know what was going on because I was so used with Brian belting out the vocals. And when I started really listening to Bon, that's when I found out, wow, man, there are some layers here. He was more like laid back. I feel like if you listen to AC/DC and you're using headphones, it's you can hear almost Brian Johnson leaning into the microphone, if you will, with a strength and a power. And if you listen to Bon Scott, for me, it's more like laid back. He's sipping the whiskey. Of course he did, but he's sipping the whiskey and it's just more relaxed when he sings. And it's so powerful in a different way. So it took me for a ride when I started really listening to him and getting into his music. And when I became a singer myself, I really got into it and broke it down. What is it that he does to me so special? Because I know that older guys I grew up with friends that had big brothers, and they said, well, AC/DC died when with Bon Scott. When he died, the band died, and there is nothing left. And I was thinking, wow, fuck, didn't you hear Back in Black or For Those About to Rock? I mean, how could you deny those albums? But at some point, I get where they're coming from, listening to and really dissecting the stuff that he did on with the vocals, Bon. It's to a certain degree, I understand and I respect that they think that AC/DC changed that much, but well,
they did. I think they did change. I think if you listen to the early stuff with Bon Scott, it was blues was a main ingredient in those songs. And once he died and Brian Johnson came in, the blues is still there, but it's not the main ingredient anymore. I feel like it's more hard rock than blues.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas it was the opposite with Bon Scott.
Yeah. But I'm thinking that Bon was more of a blues singer than Brian is, because he had that laid back. You listen to a song like Ride On, where it's really bluesy and it's taken down, and you can really hear him. He could sing, any blues song that you throw at him, he could sing, from like Robert Johnson to Be the King or whatever. If you had that guy sing one of those songs, it would sound like almost perfect. But Brian, I think Brian would struggle with the real blues. There is some blues in him too, of course, but it's like you say, there was a game changer with the band. It became more hard rock, leaning more to the heavier stuff, the heavier hard rock,
and even more anthem.
Oh yeah,
like You Shook Me and Back in Black was. Those aren't really blues songs. Those are no. like anthem songs. Like we're gonna fight. And but you listen to even the stuff on like Let There Be Rock. It's just it's very bluesy. Like even stuff on Highway to Hell. Like there's a lot of blues songs. The Jack, I think, is a great example of a great blues song that they always change the lyrics live. I just love that. It's always Bon Scott would always get out there and he would always swap out the lyric, make it a little more dirty live than it was on the record. And it was, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but going into the songs on this one, you got like the more faster stuff, like even then, like Whole Lotta Rosie and so for Bad Boy Boogie, it's more of a bluesy boogie feel to it. He's such a great singer. So even though you got stuff like Whole Lotta Rosie, which is a faster song than Go Down and Dog Eat Dog, it's still with a bluesy touch overall. With the whole band, you can feel them.
Right.
I feel like the whole band is laid back in their playing and in their sound, both on Let There Be Rock and Highway to Hell and Power Age and whatnot, with Bon Scott on vocals. So I think it's very, very different. Come on with it. The songs on this one, Let There Be Rock, Hell Ain't No Bad Place to Be, Whole Lotta Rosie. Those are
Problem Child.
Yeah, Problem Child.
Problem Child's one of my favorites on here.
Yeah. I think the only one, it's the difference here is, I think Problem Child is only on the Australian version. If I'm correct, because it's not on my...
Oh, it's not on...
No.
Oh, okay.
Let me check real quick. Let There Be Rock, Australian. I think it's... The Australian version has Problem Child.
Live fact-checking right here on the Sons on Vinyl show.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, we can't. Oh, we have to do it right. We have to do it right. Let me see real quick. And of course the internet. It's always the internet.
It's always something, man. It's
Always
always something.
Let me see real quick here. Track listing. What do you got? We got no track listing. Why do we not have some track listing on this?
Well,
but it has to be like that.
Yeah. You know, what I love about AC/DC, even from the very first record, is they've got a sound, and that sound may have changed a little bit, but these guys don't really put out bad music.
No.
Even the records that I don't like Flick of the Switch and Fly on the Wall and all those are okay. I mean, if they come on, it's okay. Yeah. I'm like the only guy in the world, I think, that does not like the song Thunderstruck. I think that song's annoying as fuck. But they still, they're consistent. They put on a good show. They release good music, and they're a band that you can always count on. You know?
I know. I totally agree. It's crazy because
and they've been through so much shit, and they still continue. Like this last record they put out.
Yeah,
I think it's actually one of the best records they've put out since, For Those About to Rock. I think it's the best thing they've put out in 20 some years, 30 years, whatever it is.
And it's crazy to think that I mean, they didn't change. They didn't do anything with their sound. I mean, of course, it evolved from Bon dying and Brian taking over, but it's sort of like the backbone of AC/DC and their music. It's still the same today as it was when they started out in early 70s, which I think it's really something. I mean, all of the bands that I listen to, talking about Kiss, I mean, they started out with this raw energy rock and roll from 74 and up till 77, something like that. And then they changed, they came into the disco era, and then they changed again, and it was this and that, and they took all the trends with it and tried to incorporate that into the music. And I mean, I know Judas Priest did the same with Turbo, with the keyboards and so forth, and every other band that I listened to did, except for AC/DC. They stuck with their. I mean, it's the same songs over and over again for the non-believers, of course. But for me, it's what the hell are you talking about? You know what you're getting. It's not a surprise. Is this going to sound like disco? Is this going to be a grunge thing? It's what's going on. We don't know. We're scared buying their new album because we don't know. No, you know exactly what you're getting if you're getting an AC/DC album. You know that it's blues. The backbone is blues, and and like you said, the new album, I'm talking about, they gotta be in their 70s, man. Releasing an album like that, I mean, it's, dude, what the hell?
These guys have been putting out music for the better part of 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's crazy, and still quality.
And to be able to do that, I think, is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to create something out of nothing and keep things fresh and keep things good is, I think, impossible. And few have done it, and AC/DC is one of those bands. The stuff on Let There Be Rock, is just as good as the stuff on For Those About to Rock. And I'd argue it's not as good as the stuff they're releasing these days, but the stuff they're releasing these days is still good, and you can still hear those older influences because, like you said, it's blues.
Yeah,
they're pulling from that foundation right there.
And it's funny because everybody knows I mean their hit songs like Highway to Hell and so forth. And I remember I ran a club in Malmo some 10-15 years ago, and we always, because the club was called Highway to Hell, of course, and we always finished the night off with that song. And every time the place went nuts. Everybody knows it's time to go home. It's time to get off what you're doing and get your ass home and come back, well, another time. But as soon as we put that song on, one last time, people are losing their minds because everybody knows and everybody's singing to that song. And it's sort of like, it's a statement of rock and roll right there. Highway to Hell. Everybody is into that. And I remember seeing AC/DC performing this song not that long ago with people in the audience like Katy Perry and so forth. It was some sort of a dollar or whatever. And I'm thinking about, yeah, you know, there with the horns in the air and so forth. But they were singing with the band. They knew the lyrics. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? I mean, Katy Perry and you got Pharrell Williams or whatever those names are, but they knew the lyrics. I mean, that big of an impact has songs like Highway to Hell and so forth. Whole Lot of Rosie. It's crazy.
You know, AC/DC is that band, and I don't know if there's any band like AC/DC that has done this, but not only have they crossed genres, but they've crossed generations.
Oh yeah.
Like my youngest kid knows AC/DC, can sing along to AC/DC, right? Yeah. I'll go out with my daughter and, you know, we'll go to a bar and an AC/DC song comes up and, you know, we're with their friends and everything. And this younger generation goes, like you said, they go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
On these songs. And it's like, that's just kind of crazy to me that the music that they listen to is so different than AC/DC. And this stuff we're talking about is old. It's 30 years old, right?
It is
40 years old. And they're like listening to it like it just came out.
Yeah.
Singing along to it. They know the lyrics. They're singing along to Back in Black and You Shook Me and all those, Highway to Hell. And it's just like that to me. I'd love to be able to create something that has done that. I think that's an amazing feat.
Oh yeah.
This band has done so many amazing things in their career. They've gone through so much. They've overcome a lot. And I really respect this band that throughout it all, they've kept their shit together.
Oh yeah.
And they've done everything possible to not disappoint the fans. Unlike shitty Metallica putting out the Black Album, right? You know,
we have to
or Ozzy doing a collaboration with Post Malone. I mean,
my
come on.
God, here we go. It's good stuff going on.
I gotta get that in there somehow.
Yeah, of course. But
that's what she said.
Yeah. Oh. But it's crazy when you mention the younger generation, because my son he wants to be a drummer. So he started practicing his drums, and we got him a really good drum teacher who's been schooled by, I don't know. He does this for a living, play drums in different settings and so forth. And the guy is sort of like, I think it's 20, at least 20 years younger than me. And I know that my son is into Maiden and AC/DC and so forth. He thinks that the drumming in Iron Maiden is a bit more difficult. So the first time we get to the drum teacher, he says, it's really important that we play stuff that you like. So what kind of music do you like? Well, it's mainly hard rock. Oh, cool. I think we should start with AC/DC. And I'm going like, what? And he's like, yeah. So how about we're starting with Highway to Hell? I think that's a good song. It's a solid beat, and you can get along to it. So he puts it up in the PA system in his rehearsal space, so you can hear it sounding, and he gets him to play along with the song. And I'm thinking, holy crap, this dude isn't even a rock or metalhead, but he thinks that, well, it's good drumming, so we should do that, and you'll like this music, so I'll get into it. So they have each one have their drum kits, and they're playing together and I'm sitting there in the middle going, what the hell is going on? Did he just put AC/DC on and thinking that, well, it's the best drumming ever? If you learn to play like the guy who plays in AC/DC, then you can play almost anything. And I'm thinking, I died and gone to heaven. And I can see my son going, hey, what's going on? So now they're practicing Highway to Hell, and they just move on to Back in Black. And they're keeping it simple. They're keeping it AC/DC. So I had to ask the guy, so why did you pick AC/DC? Well, I'm not a big metal or rock fan myself, but listening to the drumming of, especially the first drummer, which is Phil Rudd, he's still in the band. They had a couple of them. Listen to him laying down those easy beats that you think, well, this is like a regular groove. Anyone could play this. No, you have to play it like him, and it's to keep that steady beat going, not losing the pace of it. That's really hard. But if you get that down, you got a foundation as a drummer, then you can play anything from that. So, and it's crazy. I'm sitting there waving my head going, what the hell is going on? so they're practicing Highway to Hell and Back in Black, and he's learning to play the drums and with the fills and so forth, and all the innings and all the notes here and there with the cymbals and getting into the groove and playing with AC/DC, because he always has it in the PA system. So he puts it on from Spotify or whatever, iTunes or whatnot. So, and they're playing together, and he's learning, and every time he's growing, and he feels like, whoa, this is heavy, this is cool, I'm gonna be a drummer. All of because of AC/DC.
AC/DC.
So
what is your favorite song on this record?
Oh, my favorite song.
You can only pick one. Only one.
Like
if there was a problem with your vinyl record and it could only play one song on repeat over and over, which song would you want that to be?
Hell Ain't No Bad Place to Be.
Same one I'd pick.
Oh, for real?
For real. That. I love the groove in that, man.
Oh yeah.
It just dan 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 dan. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, it's so awesome.
It is.
It's just so it's so great. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah.
Let There Be Rock.
Let There Be Rock.
AC/DC.
There you go. Getting into the moment and staring. That's why I do all day. Stare at the vinyl covers.
Stare at vinyl records.
Yeah, and every time I pick something up and I play it, and my kids go, "What are you doing? What do you mean?" Well, it looked like you're reading something. Yeah, reading on the backside here. So what's the information there? Well, you can see who composed it, who produced it, who was involved, and so forth. Don't you get tired of always reading? No, I have to know. It is knowledge. It's good knowledge. I need to know who produced the goddamn album and the pressing and so forth.
That's right.
I need it.
You got to know what you have, man.
Oh yeah, and if you don't have it, go buy it. It's not that pricey, actually. You can find it for easily in a good condition for like 150 Swedish crowns, $15, used, of course. But then you get, of course, an original from 1977. So buy it on vinyl, of course. Vinyl. It's the shit.
Vinyl.
It's a shit. Yes.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's time.
Oh, it is.
It's time for...
Oh, man.
The pick of the week.
The pick of the week. Yes.
Yes.
And have we got a treat for you? You know them. We have them on before. We even interviewed them. It's one of my favorite bands. It's the OhNos. And it's their new single, Waving from Hades, which is also the name of their latest album. Brand new album, released May 13th. And let's just listen to the song. Yeah, play it.
Let's just play it.
Waving from Hades.
All right.
You see?
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to that.
Yeah.
Fucking OhNos.
You know it.
You know that they're another band that just never fails to
No. It's
knock it out
crazy.
of the park, man.
Yeah. So a little bit of fact for you who don't know who the band are. They released one EP called Queens of the Underworld and 2 full-length albums, Sounds from the Basement, and now the new one, which is called also Waving from Hades. And they did a cassette tape, a split cassette, which I think it's so freaking awesome. And when I got hold of that cassette tape, it's man, releasing a cassette tape these days. Fuck me. So no CD, only vinyl and cassette. I think that's the way to go. I
awesome.
dig them for that. So
awesome.
They've been touring around Europe, of course, and as we speak, they are doing a Spanish tour together with a Spanish band called Las Furias. And if you get the chance to see the OhNos live, oh man, you're in for a treat. It's a fantastic show. I mean, these women will kick your mother freaking ass with their high energy punk rock music. I mean, a band full of women that kicks your ass. What more do you want?
Sign me up.
You see?
Sign me up.
I know, right? It's
Sign
crazy. I've seen them several times. We even played with them with Grand Reserva. Such a nice bunch of people. I really dig them, dig their music, dig their personalities and whatnot. We have a lot of great memories with the OhNos. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, we put all the links in the description. And keep your eyes out from this new album, Waving from Hades, because I think it's going to be a killer album.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
You know it. You heard it here.
Yes.
Sounds
you
on
heard
vinyl.
it here first.
Yeah.
Or maybe second or third. But we're definitely in the top 5 of where we've heard it before.
Yes.
So, there you go.
I mean, that's what we tell ourselves, but
yes.
Who cares? You listen
that's what we say, so it's true, right? It's on the internet, so it's true.
It is true.
There you go. It is true.
So hook them up. The OhNos.
Yeah, check them out.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And with that, I think it's time to say farewell.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
Until next time.
Until next week.
Oh, yeah. Later.
Later.